The Sisters Grimm Podcast is intended for mature audiences only. Please listen at your own discretion. Tiptoe through the window.
The blackest eyes, the devil's eyes.
If it doesn't fit, you must acquit.
The most notorious serial killer in the nation, the Night Stalker.
The Boston Strangler.
The Son of Sam. The infamous Zodiac Killer.
What's your favorite scary movie?
Hi, I'm Chucky. Wanna play?
Get away from her, you bitch!
Welcome to the Sisters Grimm Podcast.
How'd you do this? Show you.
Welcome, everyone, to the Sisters Grimm Podcast. This is the first time we're recording when I can hear my own voice, and I'm not going to lie, I like it. So I'm sitting here with my sister, Morgan.
It's me. I also like hearing myself, but I feel like it's going to make me sound and talk like a robot.
Oh, I think I have, like, the nice dulcet tones of...
We have little headsets that make us look like Britney Spears in the early 2000s.
Oh, really? Because I think it makes us look like telemarketers in the 2010s.
That too.
So this episode...
So, hey, guys, it's been a bit.
Yeah, as you can see, this episode is about Stranger Things.
The fourth
season 4.
Yeah, I've seen Stranger Things.
So if you have not seen seasons 1 through 3, you're really not going to understand what we're talking about.
Well, if you haven't seen seasons 1 through 4, you're not going to understand.
Well, that
we're
too.
mostly talking about season 4.
That too. That's what I meant to say.
When something important happens, we must report back.
Well, and we've always on this podcast talked a lot about Stranger Things.
For sure.
Like, it's canon. I'm obsessed with
Oh, my God, yeah. And when did Stranger Things come out? 2016?
It came out in, like, the fall, I believe. Fall or summer, maybe. Fall or summer of 2016, yeah.
Yeah,
So it's
and
been
then we started this
8
podcast in
years.
2017, so...
Yeah. So it had already been out a little tiny bit. But, yeah, now it's, like, fully out. And I feel like now, with, like, TikTok and everything, things become so much more... Like, when things are popular, they are popular.
They're insane.
Like
obviously,
with Squid
Kate Bush
Game
song.
and, like, Budgerton. Yeah, that Kate Bush song.
Budgerton. Yeah, no.
You know, with Doofney.
Yeah, stop.
And
so
Amphony.
obviously the Kate Bush Running Up That Hill song has had a full-on gorilla pussy grip on all of us for the last month or whatever.
Ever since it's came out, I think we're all pretty much obsessed.
It's all we've been listening to.
Yeah,
it's all I want to listen to when I run around.
Let's see if we can get a little of that.
I think people know what we're talking about without adding copywritten music into the podcast.
You know what? I bet Kate Bush would adore it.
Okay.
I mean, we'll see. Oh, here we go. All right. So that song plays a huge part in Stranger Things, and so we're gonna talk about the season, but we're also gonna talk about like theories,
the
thoughts,
phenomenon that's happening with everyone being in love with Eddie.
Eddie Munson has really, really taken the world by storm.
It sounds like Eddie Munster.
I know. I wonder if they were kind of going for that look. Or not the look, but like
definitely
the
not
name.
the look.
No, definitely not the name. He doesn't have a widow's peak.
My first question is, what possessed Joyce to think that 11 could be thrown into high school with like zero... Okay, Holly just dropped her phone.
Social
with
skills?
Like zero social skills and like, yeah.
That is also, I'm pretty sure. So her first day in school, period, is as a freshman at a Southern California high school in the fucking 80s.
Yeah.
And she's supposed to... Also, I don't understand... Maybe it was because Hopper died, but like... she kind of reverted back to the way she dressed before she and Max had like their
Yeah.
little like moment. But maybe also because Max isn't around, but like Will dresses great. First fan theory, Will's so gay.
Yeah.
Like it's just
I mean, it seems like a pretty obvious thing that they're not trying to like shove down our throats, but that's definitely
definitely.
there.
And like he definitely is in love with Mike. And I went back and rewatched all of it, and you can tell in the earlier seasons, and knowing what we know now, watching the old seasons is crazy. So maybe let's just give like a little overview of like the season, and then we can talk about what our
theories are.
So
Sure.
basically there's 4 plots. There's 4 crews.
Which I kind of love.
I
Like
do
that
too.
really works for me.
Yeah, so we got the Russia crew, which is Hopper and Joyce and Murray. And then
But Joyce and Murray aren't even in the Hopper crew until like a little bit
not
later.
until a little later.
Their
But I mean,
shit is bad
yeah,
shit.
so
like Joyce, baby girl, how are you doing the things that you're doing?
no, Joyce is one of those people who just lucks out. She's just one of those people who lucks out.
She must be a Sag.
So yeah, they're trying to go and rescue
Hopper from
so
a
that's what
Russian
that-
prison.
From
like
a Russian
work
prison. Yeah. And so that is what that group is doing. And so then you have the people who are in Hawkins, Lucas, Dustin, Mac, Steve, and
Yeah.
Robin, and all of them. And
Nancy.
and Eddie now, and they have dealing with some teens dying really hard. And I have some theories on that. So yeah, so there's like this new monster.
And then we have the Cali crew. You can't forget about
Right.
the Cali.
No.
There's technically, but then there's also 11 basically
Yeah, no, that's
on
why
her
I said there's
own.
4 crews. 11 is in her crew with the dude from
Papa.
The Immortal
Right.
and Matthew Modine, who did
Not die.
And then there is the California crew of Jonathan,
Stoners.
Will, and Argyle,
friend,
who we
yeah.
love. And then they go meet up with Susie for a little bit. I loved in like the...
I did not understand Susie's home life and why it was
She's
like
very
that.
Mormon. And her
Okay.
dad
Oh,
was the
okay.
scientist from Richie Rich.
Oh.
He was in other things too, but I
Guess
can't
what?
think of it. But at any rate, I love the War Games like callback where she was changing his grade. So then basically 11 doesn't have her powers anymore, and she.
How did they go away? Get in the 3rd season? You just rewatched it.
They got taken away
When
from-
she like defeats the Mind Flayer.
Uh-huh.
Okay, sweet. She's like overdoes it, and they kind of go bye.
Yeah, and so she has to gain them back.
Mhm.
And so that's what she's doing. She's because she fucking rocks a girl in the face
Oh my god!
with a roller skate. And so after that, she like has to go to kid jail, and they're transporting her. And then Paul Reiser's like, "I'm with the FBI. We got this."
Confiscating this young girl.
And so then the California crew starts getting straight up like shot at. Like that was really, really intense.
and taking it really well as like children.
Yeah, and so that's like Mike, and it's just basically Mike, Will,
It's Mike, Will, Jonathan, and Argyle.
who we live, love, die, eat, breathe for.
Yeah, he's
so,
cute. Great.
So anyway, so then that's basically it.
Yeah, so I mean, without spoilers, that's basically it. But like a fuckload happens.
Well, yeah. So like Vecna.
Well, before we even hit Vecna, should we talk about the fact that we now have like a personal thing with Stranger Things because we have recently started playing a lot of D&D.
Oh yeah, I definitely understand like what they are talking about.
Yeah, so we've been playing B&D.
B&D.
B&D. We've been playing D&D with my boyfriend Paul, who loves it, and some of our friends. And now I am understanding things more, especially the dice and the rolling of the dice. My favorite part of D&D, other than just being a hot slay queen moon high elf, is that That I have dice.
The dice is like really. I love
They're
watching
really
dice
cute.
die making on like TikTok videos.
Okay, slay.
They're really good.
But yeah, so we've been playing D&D, so it's been like the 4th season specifically is heavy D&D because of the Hell Club.
Well, no, the first episode is the Hellfire.
Wait, you know what's
Hellfire
funny?
Club.
So, our friend who we play D&D with, Tim, shout out Tim. He's actually possibly starting a podcast with his friends where they play D&D. I'm not totally sure. We'll update on that in later podcasts. But he and his friends, when they were in high school, they had a D&D group called the Hellfire Group.
Well, the Hellfire Club was
Hellfire Club,
like an actual club. Actually, they were in. Oh, I'm gonna fuck it up, but they were in some Marvel comic, and it is the same Marvel comic that in the first season when Will and Dustin are like racing home, and Dustin's like, "I'll give you my blah 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 blah." That on that comic, it talks about the Hellfire Club.
Oh, cool.
So that's I'm pretty sure where they got that from. So Vecna, he gets ya.
Scary.
So this is the first theory, I guess I'm gonna throw out.
Okay.
The school counselor. So Max, and I mean I don't know Grief. Grief works differently in everybody, but at the end of season 3, she seemed super fine. And also, are we all just gonna forget about how racist Billy was?
Right.
Because he did not want her hanging out with Lucas at all.
Yeah, no.
Like, everyone, like, the whole second season, he's, like, Steve basically, like, steps in to keep he basically, like, gets a beating in Max's place, basically. And they're not even real brother and sister, which, I mean, obviously that doesn't matter in terms of, like, being super sad. But anyway, so Max has to keep going to see the school therapist, and I think she is in on it.
The school
which
therapist
makes
is in
sense
on it with Vecna.
With Vecna.
Okay.
Because all of Vecna's victims are in high school, and specifically are going to this high school. She has like files on all of them. She's very like persistent in asking them about it, and she's asking them about their nightmares, because when he knows about their nightmares, then he can put them in those situations. But unless he finds, like, he can't just know what their trauma is. She has to like ask people and be like, okay, what's your trauma? So like Chrissy, like, obviously had problems with like her mom and an eating disorder, and so that was what hers was. And so then like Max obviously was Billy, and then that one kid, something with a car accident.
Storyline they did not. Oh yeah, dude, his was messed up.
That was messed up.
The Nancy's friend or whatever.
Yeah, the kid on
and then
the
one
school
basketball
paper.
player who they didn't give much of a storyline to. We didn't really.
No,
something to do with his dad. I feel like his dad. Oh, his dad hit him.
Yeah,
yeah, because Lucas said that he would show up to.
I don't know, like his backstory. Not that it doesn't matter, but like I think it was just to have another victim at like that moment.
Yeah, so that one kid could see
and
the
so
blonde
basically another
basketball player.
Yeah. Well, another thing that's really cool is all of the satanic panic coming in it. So I don't even remember his name.
That's real cool.
I hate that guy. Or that one kid, the basketball player coach.
He's lame.
He gives me youth pastor vibes, like not good ones. I do not like it. Like when he just
I do not like it.
I don't like him at all. And like everyone's saying that like in the first episode when they're like trying to like find people to play as a sub for Lucas, they're like, that's a cult. And it's like, no, it's fucking cool.
It's literally cool.
It's cool. Like, who the fuck cares? Like, do I feel any closer to Satan playing this game?
No, I feel closer to like Lord of the Rings.
Exactly.
Or like fantasy novels that I'm reading. But another thing that like I loved, and just a huge, obviously throwback to like 80s horror, was like
it was so
Nightmare on Elm Street. I mean, Robert Englund plays Victor
Creel,
and he did a great job. He was only in one episode. They really hyped that up. But I mean Freddy was the 80s, and Nightmare, like everything about it, it's so
If they
Freddy.
hadn't talked to him, though, they would have never been able to save Max.
Yeah, no, for sure. We love him.
Find out
He's an icon.
that for whatever reason, listening to your favorite song protects you from Vecna. And so the Kate
or at least
Bush
that's what worked
running
with,
up the
with her.
bill. Well, no, it
running
helped
up
with
the bill.
Running up the bill. No, because it helped with Victor Creel when they.
Oh, yes, yes,
that's how
yes.
they knew. And so this is my other theory, and I think I've heard it other places too. But the reason that Will, in the first season, when Will is taken, he's not taken. He might be taken by a Demogorgon.
It doesn't look like it.
But
though.
but it's Vecna, because when he falls off his bike, you can hear the clock chime.
Yeah.
And also, the reason he survives in the Upside Down for so long is because he keeps singing that "Should I Stay or Should I Go" song.
Yeah.
And also, like, Demogorgons, like, I mean, especially in this season you see, and like in all the other seasons, they're predators. They attack. They're
kind of like velociraptors.
They kill. Like,
Yeah.
they don't. I think that they're like footmen for Vecna. Like, they
they're
because
like
Barb,
Vecna's like front army.
right? And like
They're the Marines for Vecna.
I mean, Vecna admitted to being the one who killed Barb, because like Barb didn't get
that's
like
crazy.
eaten or mauled or anything either.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so, what was another one?
Well,
was
just
thinking
speaking of, what were we talking about with Vecna? Vecna's great.
So
I
I
love
think-
Vecna. Oh, the part, hang on, just to keep it on Demogorgons, the fucking part where they, like, fight a that shit
that was what I wanted to talk to you about, Morgan.
Fucking crazy and
No,
lit.
the part,
I
my
cried.
God. I got chills, and maybe you did too.
Chills.
So the part where, like, because, like I said, there's 4 different plot lines going on,
Yeah.
and sometimes one of the plot lines will be like kind of something tense going on, and it'll go to another one. And so Hopper and these other dudes, it's kind of like a gladiator situation.
Very, yeah.
And a Demogorgon's gonna come out, and the screen goes black, and you think like maybe they're gonna go to one of the other plot lines. Fucking Demogorgon
Yeah,
comes
it was
out.
So,
oh my
and I
God.
knew it was gonna be a Demogorgon too. I said it's gonna be a Demogorgon.
It was
It's gonna be a
so
Demogorgon. And Paul was like,
fucking
"No, it's gonna be Vecna," and I was like, "No, it's not."
He lives in Hawkins, Paul.
Right.
But we learned that
The Russians are
we
using
know,
Demogorgons.
and we know that everything in the underground is a hive mind. So the Demogorgon that they have in Russia is somehow still connected to Vecna,
Yeah.
who is in Hawkins, Indiana.
Well, we also learn about all the different, like, holes that there are that, like, get you to the Upside Down, and that the Upside Down only started when 11 opened it, or
So
at least that's, like...
Yeah, so it started on
things
November
were, question mark?
6th when because like when they're there,
Or when Vecna did it, technically. They say it's L, but was it really Vecna?
well, it's
and
when
L just got out?
L banishes him to
Right.
and that happens. I think she left shortly after that. If not,
Yeah.
I think she leaves after she does that. Actually,
Yeah.
like I think that's when
runs
she
off.
ran away, because it's November 6th, and that's the day that Will goes missing.
Mm-hmm.
And so, what was I going to
What
say?
are some
Oh, no.
other
When
theories
they're
you have?
upside down, when they're in the upside down, and Nancy goes to her house to look for her guns, she sees like her diary, and it's only up until November
Yeah.
6th. So the upside down is Hawkins, but it's only Hawkins like frozen
Yeah,
in that
time,
period of time.
basically.
So, I was thinking like that something was gonna happen. Something big has to happen with Hopper.
Yeah.
Like something really big has to happen with Hopper, because Elle doesn't know that Hopper is still alive. And now that she is like back working with Matthew Modine, and he probably feels so like he was even saying, like he just wants to help Elle. Oh, so also I think Hopper may
Kill
have
Matthew Modine.
well, possibly that, but I think he might get like attacked by Vecna somehow, because in this season we find out, like, we had known that his daughter had died from cancer, but in this season we find out that he blames himself. And what does Vecna feed on? People's guilt.
Yeah.
But then I thought, you know that song, like, he plays it in the second season and he played it last season, and it's that Don't Mess Around with Jim song by Jim Croce. That's going to be the song that I'll probably play, and he will probably live. Now, do you want to hear the really, really sad theory of how I think Steve's probably going to die?
Yeah, but I don't think they're going to. The one thing that I did hear about this season, and I don't know if that obviously, I'm assuming includes the 2 episodes that come out in July that we will obviously do another episode about.
Of course.
But the Duffer Brothers called this season their Game of Thrones season.
Yeah, they said
meaning
it does
they're
not have a
kill
happy ending.
someone.
It doesn't have a happy ending.
But, like, neither did last season. I mean, I guess I was kind of happy that Elle, like, moved in with Joyce, but it was because Hopper was probably dead or taken by the Russians.
Right. I mean, but they must realize, because, I mean, they alluded so
the only
much.
reason Steve, I think, would be the one is because, like, Steve's the only one who, like, we don't know his parents, so we don't have to see any of that sad stuff.
No. That's not. Oh, you think that's like?
I think that's
no.
just part
People
of it.
are. No,
No,
they
I know
love
people
Steve
love
because
Steve,
they.
but that's another
Steve,
reason why they'll kill him because he's so lovable. But, like, I think it's easier than doing it to, like, one of the kids whose, like, parents we see all the time. Like, imagine if
I don't
like
think
Mike
that,
died.
I don't know. I don't care what Ted thinks.
Well, I don't know.
I don't really care about Ted. I think it's because everything has to do with the fact that he is going to save Nancy.
Yeah.
Because
someone. I mean,
he's going to save Nancy. He's going to go after her because the hole is still open. They're going to be like, Steve, come up. He's going to be like, no, I'm going to go get Nancy.
Oh, right.
Nancy can't die. Nancy is not going to die.
Yeah,
I know
Nancy
Nancy's not going to die because she hasn't even. I think it would be really stupid to have her die and not have seen Jonathan at all.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't think that that's how the show would be written.
Yeah.
And so
that makes sense.
So I think he is either going to die or him saving her life is going to make her realize that she finally needs to be with him. I don't know.
Something.
But I very sadly do think that Steve might die, which would really fucking suck.
That would
like,
wreck Dustin.
He, I know. Because Steve was supposed to be, like, the douchebag boyfriend, but Joe Keery was so likable, they're like, let's give this guy an arc and make him lovable. And they did a very good job with that.
They did.
I'm trying to think. I had what was my other theory? I had another one. I can't think of it right now, though. I put a lot of them on TikTok.
Well, we can always move along to.
We could take a little break.
Well, we're gonna take a little break, and when we come back, we did a little Q&A on Instagram, so we're gonna answer those Qs, and we'll be right back. Okay, so we got a couple questions on Instagram. Not gonna answer every single one, but we'll answer some.
Cool.
The first one is mean. It's why do you never put out episodes anymore?
Because we don't live in the same city anymore.
Yeah, mostly because we are far, and
It's not mean. It's a good question.
No, yeah. Every episode that we've tried to record, like, remotely from each other, it just doesn't ever sound that great. And there's always, like, a lag, and so it feels like we're interrupting each other a lot, which is, I mean, we just do that anyways, but.
Yeah. And we're just, I don't know. We obviously were super duper excited about it, and it's not like we're not as excited.
Yeah, we've been doing this for like
definitely not as excited about it since
6 years.
Yeah, we've been doing this for a while.
Yeah, we've got a bank of episodes, and listen, just go back and re-listen.
If we come back to you every once in a while, then you consider yourself lucky.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Okay.
I wish we could do more.
Yeah. The next question is, how do I start a podcast?
I don't even know.
I know whenever people ask that, it's like we started such a long time ago.
It's
and
probably
we
not a
just
good method
put
to
them
do it
out.
Anymore.
What we do is probably not good.
There's probably better.
And we've changed up how we've recorded like a million times. Like
not really. We've been with Audacity.
Well, I mean, yeah, through the same system, but like we've used so many different mics,
recording
and so many
devices.
different locations, and just like
get yourself Okay, honestly, if you want advice on that, get yourself a program that you know is going to record you and get a microphone for both of you and make
Or
sure
just one
that
of you,
both
there's
of your
just one.
microphones sound the same.
Yeah, that's the
That's really all
hardest
you
part.
need. And you need a cool name.
Yeah, cool
and
name.
good content.
And you can hire a good graphic designer, but luckily Holly is a good graphic designer, so we didn't have to do that.
Canva.
Okay. So then the next one is worst horror movie you've ever seen. Worst. I mean, there's a lot that come to mind. Like, I mean,
that I was just like, this movie, that Spiral movie we watched,
Spiral was
that was dumb.
bad.
Not the Saw.
Oh my god,
Spiral.
not to be like a total bitch, but remember how the Spiral voice made us laugh so much? Did it not sound like the girl at the drive-thru that we went to tonight?
She
Her
was
voice
just
was
talking
crazy.
up here
Yeah,
to
it was
the
a
point
while.
of me
Anyways,
not
that's
knowing.
Yeah. But okay, worst. Yeah, Spiral was bad.
But I'm
The
trying
Saw
to
movie's so
think.
bad. Maybe
No,
like
not the
we could
Saw
say like
one. No, that Spiral movie. Remember
that was
it
a Saw
on-
movie.
No. It was that Shudder movie.
Yeah, that movie sucked.
That was bad.
Yeah, there was a Spiral Shudder original that was really bad.
It's about a gay couple and like their daughter, and then like a cult, and it was done
It
horribly.
was not great.
was made really,
I
really
also think Freddy's Dead is a terrible film. I think the Nightmare on Elm Street remake isn't great. I really don't like Halloween 2, the Rob Zombie one.
Honestly, not gonna lie, I'm not a huge fan of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre remakes. Any of them.
Oh
think they're
my
all fucking
god.
nasty and
The
gross.
newest Texas Chainsaw movie is one of the worst horror movies I think I've ever seen. Don't watch it. It's on Netflix. Don't watch it.
Any
bad.
horror movie on Tubi that seems sus is.
Period. Oh my god, there's this crazy
I
one
guess I could
called
go
We
on
All
and on.
Scream for Ice Cream. Don't watch it.
But there's
Okay.
also, yeah, those are the worst. Like, unenjoyably bad.
And now, what do you think the best horror movie you've ever seen? It was basically a favorite horror movie of all time. And like, let's maybe put it in artistic sense, like Midsummer, Get Out, Scream, Halloween.
Yeah.
Probably
I mean,
all of those.
I don't know.
It
the
Follows
ones
is
everyone
really
else
good.
are really good.
I wouldn't call it a favorite.
What do I like? What do
Yeah, like what's your favorite? Because I mean, like,
honestly, I love that movie. I like horror movies that are like also funny.
yeah, you're
Oh,
more into that for
I
sure.
like funny, so I really love The Babysitter.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. Fuck. I don't know. I watched The Killing of a Sacred Deer. That was really fucking good. That was a good slow burn. But like, yeah, favorite of all time is gonna be fucking Jaws. 100%.
Yeah, I
Hot dogs.
love that. Okay,
It's
well
never
then,
not gonna be Jaws.
in the same vein, a separate question: what is your comfort horror movie watch? For me, definitely Halloween. Definitely, I Know What You Did Last Summer. Definitely
Hostel, the part where he
Legend.
gets his Achilles tendon cut.
No. I do love Hostel too, though. I mean, I kind of turn it off before it gets really gross, but that one doesn't even get that gross. I just love all the girlies in that one.
Comfort
Halloween
horror
for sure.
movie.
I used to be
Well-
Scream, but honestly, I just don't really watch those movies that much anymore.
The Babysitter.
Yeah, you love The
I just watched that
Babysitter.
movie like, and the second one I just watched.
Oh, the remake of Friday the 13th.
Three
That's
nonstop.
definitely one for me.
Halloween.
Bride of
Because Halloween
Chucky.
is so watchable, and it's comforting. Like around like spooky season.
Oh yeah, I mean definitely Halloween. Halloween H2O is I think actually my number one comfort horror movie.
But yeah, it would
watch.
have to be
love
a
that one.
funny horror for it to be like
Probably Babysitter for you.
comforting. Oh yeah, it's
Yeah.
it's literally like my emotional support movie almost.
Right.
I've seen it so many.
What
fucking
about
times.
like comfort horror television show?
Stranger Things?
Yeah, I knew you were gonna say that.
Hello.
It used to be American Horror Story, but I never really watched that anymore. Haunting of Hill House, probably.
I mean, I'm obsessed with Stranger Things.
Yeah. Well, that's all the cues that I've got. Do you have any more little predictions that you want to add in before we go?
So we can end it on a anti-prediction, I guess. So I've been seeing
debunked, if you
on
will.
Tickless.
Tickless. I am
TikTok?
tickless. You're having a hard time talking tonight.
I don't know how to speak. So on TikTok and in articles, people are thinking like at the end of the show, Mike is going to wake up and it's all going to have been a dream, or Will's going to wake up, or 11 is going to wake up. And
I hope
this is
not.
why I
That'd
do
be
not
lame.
think that the Duffer Brothers would do that. So there was this show in the 80s called Saint Elsewhere. It took place at a hospital. It was kind of like
I've heard that, yeah.
it was like a shitty hospital in Pennsylvania somewhere. It's like think, Grey's Anatomy ER type situation.
Ugh, I miss ER.
So it's 6 years of relationships, babies being born, people dying, all of these things. And then in the very last episode, you find out that all of this happened inside the mind of one autistic child. None of it was real. It
What was
all
it on?
happened.
Like HBO?
No, I don't know if I could tell you.
You don't have to.
Is it that I was gonna say it was in the 80s, so it was either ABC, NBC, CBS, and that's it.
Right, yeah. Yeah, that's a weird choice. Is that the original show to do that, where it's like it was a dream, or
Well, it
what's the
wasn't really a
original movie
dream.
that did that?
Well, but I don't know. But so the reason I don't
they
think that
did
the
that,
Duffer Brothers would do that because it was not received well.
It's
that
never
ending,
going to be received well. It's kind of lazy. It's just like, well, yeah, you could do that
And
to
I
be shocking, but it's kind of lazy.
I think it's lazy. I made a
and they
TikTok
wouldn't
about
do
it, and
that. They're
everyone
not
else
like that.
agreed it was lazy. Also, I remember when the last Harry Potter book was going to come out, people were like thinking that it
would
was
happen
going to
with Harry.
end with Harry waking up in the cupboard and like going to reach his forehead, and there not being a scar there anymore, and he
I
dreamed
just
the
got
whole
full
thing up.
goosebumps on my knees at the thought of that, and thank God it didn't happen.
Imagine all of that fucking magic.
Yeah,
How
no, my
like
legs are fully goosed.
full on goose,
Goosed up.
goosed up.
Okay, yeah, I definitely don't think that that's gonna be. Okay, let me see if I have any, because
Think
I don't
of
have
anything,
any
because
written down.
it's really easy to try to think some up because so many things happen.
I definitely think
Like, what do you think Elle is gonna have to do? Because clearly they're getting
Elle's
her
gonna
ready
have
to fight
obviously
Vecna.
battle Vecna. But do you think that's gonna happen at the end of this season or like the end of the show?
I think it's gonna happen.
Vecna seems too big to just be conquered, but I don't know because the
Mind
the next
Flayer
two
came back for 2 ones.
yeah, the next two episodes come out July 1st, and they're like both 2 hours long, so they're like both like movies, which is I'm
And
so excited.
People are like, why aren't they just spreading them out? I'm guessing it's a pacing.
It's
thing.
a pace. Well, and like the way that this ended was amazing. Like they did in such a good way. Like,
I couldn't
having
tell.
Hopper enjoys that part made me cry. I was literally like not okay. I had to like pause it and like made Paul hold me while I cried.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That show makes me cry. It's just so good. I love Stranger Things.
I love Stranger Things. It's such a comfort.
Even if
watch
Steve
now.
dies, I still love it. Because
Same.
he's in
I
the
just
first
can't
4
wait for
seasons.
July 1st, which is how soon?
Pretty soon. And it's still
we don't
the
have that
number
long.
It's the number 1 show in the U.S. still on Netflix.
I believe it,
It's
yeah.
the number 1 Netflix show.
Yeah.
Which, and I mean, it's so popular.
Oh,
It's
another
so popular.
Stranger Things side note. I'm moving to Indiana.
Yeah, Morgan's moving to Hawkins.
No, Hawkins
The
is not a
fictional
real
town.
town in Indiana. But yes, I am moving to Indiana. My boyfriend just got a job teaching at a university there, so we're at least moving for 8 months, and who knows?
Love that.
Love that.
So we're going to end on another great TikTok sound. And I actually,
yeah,
I
we
want
need
to
to.
give this person credit.
Please.
So the creator of this sound, his scream name, I want to pronounce it Shmoyoho.
Okay.
That's what it looks like to me. And here, let y'all just get a little.
It's everything.
Get a little
Bye,
taste
guys.
of this.
Tracy